Force Awakens, is 30 years after the Battle of Endor in The Return of the Jedi. The Empire didn't just end with the death of Emperor Palpatine. On the contrary, the war goes on. With two new factions taking up the fight, the galaxy is still ripped apart by warfare. Many are still living under the threat of super weapons that could wipe out their existence. Moreover, it seems that even after Luke Skywalker's defeated the Emperor, the ways of the Force have somehow fallen to myth. In the film's storyline, the old warring factions, the Rebellion, and the Empire are no longer what they were. In their place, we meet the First Order and the Resistance, who operate under the evil leadership of the Supreme Leader, Snoke. The latter serves as the new group that old heroes like Leia, Luke Skywalker and Han Solo. The First Order has a massive super weapon called the Starkiller Base, which is located on an ice planet. In terms of the Force, the status of the Jedi is unknown at this time, but the Darkside has a faction called the Knights of Ren, which operates within the banners of the First Order. One of the biggest things that Star Wars 7 has going for it is the nostalgia factor. J.J. Abrams has definitely used the magic and goodwill towards the original Star Wars movies to slowly but surely rekindle the spark in older fans, while luring new fans to the theater. And fostering that nostalgia has meant bringing back those who inspired it in the first place, the original Star Wars cast. Episode 7 won't just bring back the big heroes like Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill, Han Solo, Harrison Ford, and Princess Leia, Carrie Fisher, even the original actors who played side characters like Chewbacca, Peter Mayhew, C-3PO, Anthony Daniels, and R2-D2, Kenny Baker, are coming back to the screen. The Force Awakens may feature the classic Luke Leia Han trio, but it will also introduce a new heroic trio into the mix: Finn, John Boyega, Rey, Daisy Ridley, and Poe, Oscar Isaac. Finn starts out as a stormtrooper who defects from the First Order and ends up wielding a lightsaber. Rey is a scrap scavenger on the desert planet Jakku who falls in with Finn, and Poe is a hotshot pilot in the Resistance. However, even though Finn, Rey and Poe are new characters in the Star Wars saga, there's a definite tweaked and remixed similarity to original Star Wars heroic trio and their character arcs. This is nothing new for the Star Wars saga, but it's good to see that in modern times, the brand is still strong enough to draw in a number of top talent actors, even for supporting roles. The Force Awakens will feature the likes of Andy Serkis, Lord of the Rings, as evil Supreme Leader Snoke, Gwendolyn Christie, Game of Thrones, as militant Captain Phasma, Oscar winner Lupita Nyong'o, 12 Years a Slave, as Force-sensitive Maz Kanata, Domhnall Gleeson, Ex Machina, as the mysterious General Hux. The parallels between A Force Awakens and A New Hope continue to grow when you look at the recent revelation that Episode 7 will feature a plotline in which the Imperial First Order threatens the galaxy with a new super weapon, one that is bigger and badder than the Death Star. The new weapon wielded by the First Order is called Starkiller Base, and it can be seen in the latest Star Wars 7 trailer. Fans of the Star Wars movie saga by now know the rule of two when it comes to the Sith Lords of the Darkside. There were only two Sith Lords at the time, a master and an apprentice. As the mythology of the Sith has grown in the time since the original trilogy, so have the convoluted rules about who wields the dark side of the Force, and how. One might expect that after the events of a film titled Return of the Jedi, the galaxy far, far away would by now be repopulated. However, when The Force Awakens begins, the Jedi have not in fact returned. As seen in the latest trailer, new characters like Finn and Rey actually have to get confirmation about the Jedi's existence from an actual hero of the war against the Empire. When Disney purchased Lucasfilm and put producer Kathleen Kennedy in charge, there was a clear plan to streamline all of the Star Wars properties into one shared universe, a la Marvel Studios. That goal was easier said than done, as for decades now, George Lucas has allowed the Star Wars mythology to be expanded by fans, aspiring writers and third-party media entities, resulting in a dense, convoluted, and sometimes contradictory mythos. But that's no longer an issue. As of fall 2014, the Star Wars story canon was rebooted and streamlined, in order to be built up into one consistent shared universe. Up until now, Star Wars has been the epitome of event entertainment. With 3 years between each movie episode's release, and decades between the and prequel trilogies, it's easy to see why the release of a Star Wars movie was consistently looked at as a major cultural event. But soon we'll see big event film episodes released one year, followed by spin-off films the next years, like 2016's Rogue One, with new animated series helping to fill in gaps, and plans for more shared universe TV series, video games etc. to constantly keep the brand relevant and flowing. It's all being planned by a Star Wars brain trust or story group, which includes Kathleen Kennedy, producer Simon Kinberg, and creative talent like Abrams, Gareth Edwards from Godzilla, Rian Johnson from Looper and Lawrence Kasdan from Empire Strikes Back.